Hello and welcome to Quick Learn Photography, straight to the point videos that teach you everything that I've learned in over 10 years of professional photography. My name's James, and in this one I'm going to start a series of videos I'm going to do about if you're thinking of going professional and starting to charge for photography, if you want to make it an income, a side job, part-time job, or your full-time job, if that's where you want to head, becoming a full-time photographer, or just that is your main income if you want to be a professional photographer. So I've learned a lot of things over the last 10 years, some good, some bad. I've learned the hard way with different things, building up a photography business as your job. So hopefully that will help you not learn the hard way, or you can fast track towards certain things. I think it's a bit too bright. Let's drop the aperture a bit. The sun keeps coming through that window. Is that a bit too dark now? There you go, that'll do. Yeah, so I'm going to give you some advice, and you may have got to a point where you've been doing photography for quite a while, you do it as a hobby, or you perhaps do it for friends or something. You've got the gear and you're really happy with your images, and also people are starting to notice, and like perhaps you're putting it on social media and people are like, wow, your photos are really, stepping up, and it gets to the point where people start saying, can you photograph this for us? And then it comes to the stage where you start charging. So that's the point then, that's the sort of the turning point when you start charging for photography. That's when you're a professional photographer. If you're not sure about pricing and everything, I had a sort of a system over the years. Watch that video there, that might help you, just how I progressed with pricing and sort of how I did it in increments and stuff, so that might help you. But yeah, you may be getting to that point and you may think, this is what I want to do, and if it keeps getting more and more, then maybe it can be my proper job, my full-time job. So that's great if you are. So whatever it is you're photographing, everybody has a different kind of niche, whatever it is, that might be your goal. So some tips and advice. I'm going to do a series on this, on different things, but I think none of them are in particular order of importance, apart from one, and that's what I'm going to stress today. If you're going to start charging for photography, then you have to have 2 cameras. Okay, now that sounds expensive. You have to have kind of 2 of everything, like lenses, all sorts of stuff. You have to have backup. That's what I would strongly recommend, okay, if you're going to start charging and being professional about photography, if you turn up on a client's job. The reason is, and I speak from experience, you never know what's going to happen. And if you've only got the one camera, it could be the best camera in the world, but if something goes wrong with it, or you drop it or break it or something happens, you're kind of screwed, aren't you? So you're going to need backup. So what I recommend with this, just thinking of cameras for now, is whatever camera you've chosen, there's all kinds of different brands, and you've got used to the one that you use, and you may have spent a bit of money on it or got a really good second-hand one. Then get the same make. So say you've got Nikon or Canon, get a cheaper version, but one that's still capable of covering you for the kind of work that you need, perhaps a second-hand one, or perhaps the next model down, but they've still got the same sensor size, okay? Get something cheaper as backup, definitely, absolutely. So I use Sony and Nikon, and I've got backup for both, okay? So I could swap lenses over as well if something went wrong with the main body. And it did once, years ago. I was right in front of the client. It was a Nikon camera, and I had one of those great big 70 to 200 lenses, the f2.8. They're massive, they're like really, really heavy. I was in a rush, and I'll show you what I did. This is a Sony, and it's a smaller lens. So imagine the lens here, it was like that, it's huge. Because I was in a rush, I grabbed it out of the camera bag and pulled it up by the camera grip and did that, and the weight of the lens, it wrenched the mount, okay, and it broke the mount of the camera. So that camera was then useless for that point, and it was very expensive to get it repaired as well. Fortunately, I had, excuse me, I had another camera in the bag. So I swapped the lens and carried on. Imagine if I didn't have that backup camera. There is an awful story as well. I shared it on this video here about having 2 cameras. My second wedding that I was doing for friends, I had one camera. It was very powerful, it's full frame. It had a really, really good camera, but something went wrong during the ceremony and I missed a vital bit because I didn't have anything else to grab and carry on with. So I can't stress this enough, 2 cameras, even a second-hand one. So this is my secondary camera to the Sony. I've got the Sony a7 IV that's videoing me now, and this is my first Sony that I got, the a7 III. It's not quite as good as the Sony a7 IV, but it's more than capable. It's a bit higher mileage as well. I've used it more than this one, but it's more than capable of getting me out of trouble if something goes wrong with my main camera. Oh, it's getting really bright again. Let's drop it down. Drop the aperture. Is that too dark? No, you can see me all right, can't you? So, same with my Nikon. I've got a Nikon D750, fantastic camera. I've got an older Nikon as well that's more than capable to carry on with the Nikon lenses if something goes wrong with that. Absolutely vital, and that's what I'd stress before anything else. Oh, we're getting too dark. There we go. Along with cameras, and they don't have to be expensive, a lot of cameras do this, and I recommend this, all my cameras do, have 2 memory card slots. Don't know if that'll focus. So there's 2 memory cards in there, because memory cards can fail. And I always use SanDisk Extreme Pros. They're good, they're really good. And I've had a couple of these fail of SanDisks over 10 years, and another one that wasn't a SanDisk that corrupted as well. Memory cards can corrupt, and if you're recording someone's images for money and the memory card doesn't load, I did it on a job years ago. I spent all day shooting. I put the memory card in the computer and nothing came up. It didn't record anything. Fortunately, the other memory card did, and they didn't know. I had another one fail on holiday. I took a load of holiday images. One just went kaput and the other one recorded. So get camera systems with 2 memory cards. I think all of them do it now, so it's not difficult. Even the older ones, even the older DSLRs, plenty of them do it. So that's what I recommend. Same with lenses. Perhaps as a backup camera, get a lens that could cover you, perhaps a cheaper one of what you've got, or a 50mm, or whatever it is. Just even a kit lens could get you out of trouble. That's like one of the entry-level lenses. Just have backup stuff, because you never know what can happen. You could drop something and crack a lens. The autofocus could just malfunction on it. You never know. So back up everything. Same with lighting. If you're taking lighting, have a backup lighting system, another speed light or whatever it is. Same with memory cards, batteries, everything. Backup, backup, backup. Because you don't want to be in my situation where something went terribly wrong and I only had the one camera, okay? So I'm going to talk about other stuff with other videos about building up a photography business, what to expect, and things that might be able to help if you're thinking of really making a career out of it. But that is the number one. Have backup, backup, backup. And even backup clothes as well. I've learned this the hard way. Like one of the worst ones, it wasn't me, I heard of another photographer, like have backup shoes in your car or whatever. Take a spare pair of shoes if you can, because somebody stood in something nasty and he had to carry on photographing with his shoe covered in, I won't say what, but you never know. So you could be in a muddy field or whatever, shirt, have a change of shirt. You could get hot and sweaty if it's a hot day, and by lunchtime you can change and have a fresh, you know, that sort of thing. Just back up, back up, back up, if you're going to start shooting professionally. So I'm going to give lots of other advice, some more videos, which might hopefully help you if you're thinking of starting. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you want to learn photography, if there's anything, whether it's actually doing photography or the business of it, or anything that I might be able to give you advice on or help with, get in touch with the link below, because I offer one-to-one coaching online. So we can have a discovery call, see what sort of help that you need, and if it's in my capability to help, then we can book a coaching session and we can talk one-to-one and for your specific needs. So if that's something you'd be interested in, get in touch below. So I hope you enjoy the following videos coming up about the business of photography, but that is number one, have a backup camera, okay? I hope it helped.